Yo, what's good, Rush Nation? Welcome to episode 88 of 5 Yard College. That is an extremely fast start. I apologise for that. If you are watching live, welcome to the stream. If you're listening on audio, you can't see what's happening. Ash is here, but we're joined by our boy Tom. Tom has made a special appearance once again for a mock draft. You probably know by now that Tom is all about the mock drafts when it comes to this point in the season, rightly so, because he's a Jets fan and they always have an air.
How did you know that comment was on its way?
Well, at least you've got picks this year. There's a Bronco now. I've got maybe 4 picks, and they're all late second onwards. So
You've also got Russell Wilson at quarterback. So
but he's not exactly been stellar the last 3 years, has he?
Oh, you're not pleased?
Well, no, we gave up too much for him, but there's neither here nor there. We're not talking about the NFL. Well, I suppose we are really. Just before he dives away to Bristol, Ash is right here with us. How you doing, my man?
I am doing very well, thank you. Doing very well, as always.
Yes. I would like to apologise for the state of my voice this evening, Rush Nation. I do have a cold. Tom's nodding along, so I obviously don't sound my usual.
No, it was me saying I'm in the same boat, mate.
Well, you're in a slightly worse situation. You've got a case of the tonsillitis, right?
Yeah. Today was the first day since Tuesday that I got out of bed.
Blimey.
Yeah. I mean, it's a combination of I suffer with tonsillitis more than most, but I'm also incredibly soft. So
that takes a lot for a northern lad to say he's soft as well. So
yeah, but northern soft is still,
Careful.
stronger stuff than the southerners.
Jay, come on now.
Yeah, we just talked about this with Ash. Tom called me the token Cockney in our league chat earlier, and I don't know whether to take that offensively or not. But we'll slide along swiftly.
Yeah.
There was supposed to be.
Before I upset you anymore.
No, it's fine. I'm pretty impervious. We're built tough down here. None of this soft northern business. We are doing a mock today. There was supposed to be a few of us, and it dwindled away. So you're lucky to get the 3 of us, Rush Nation, if I'm perfectly honest. Ash, normally we pick a list and we rotate between each person as to who's going to be picking. We're mixing it up today. I don't know whether we've done this, whether you boys did it, whether I can't remember. Wait, Tom, was that a neck oil glass?
It was. It's water in it, but it's bringing back memories of our lovely day at the Spurs Stadium.
I need one of those glasses. If you're not watching on the audio, apologies. Normally we pick in an order, so it would go me, Tom, Ash, or vice versa, however you want to do it. But today we are coming together as a collective. We're going to try and pick the perfect first round mock draft, right?
Yeah, something a little bit different. Hopefully we can all agree on the picks. I'm sure there'll be some disagreements, but that'll be part of the fun. And we are going to potentially include trades as well if we feel like it's if it's warranted.
Yeah. So I am going to add Ash's screen to the visuals. If you're listening on audio again, just come watch. Subscribe on the YouTube channel. Watch for the bell when 5 Yard College go live. Come check us out. In fact, when everyone goes live, watch them. But mostly us, Rush Nation. Right, Ash. Are we ready?
Yes, definitely ready and raring to go.
As the 3-headed Cerberus of the front office today, lad, should we discuss the Jaguars pick first, or should we just dive in and see if there's a trade option?
I don't think there would be anyone willing to go up to 1, really. Probably a bit rich.
I mean,
not in this draft.
No.
I mean, the elite players in the draft are edge rushers, and there's enough depth there for teams to sit pretty.
Agreed.
I tell you what, boys, before we start the draft, I've had an idea. This might be possible. Do you think we should pick 6 teams to be operated by the computer to really mix it up, or should we just do the full 32 teams ourselves?
I don't know. I mean, it's not a bad idea. Adds a bit of variety in there. Yeah, I mean, 6 is a bit random, but
that's exactly what happened. I picked a number between 1 and 32 and 6.
All right, yeah. Okay. I will say, if we do, we will potentially get trade offers from them. Whereas if we do all of them, it's just us dictating all the trades. So yeah, it's not a bad idea. I'm up for that.
I think there would be more trades that way as well because.
Right, let's do it.
If we do 8 teams on the computer, then that's essentially our fourth person in the draft.
I like it.
Does that make
I like
sense?
it. So we'll do one from each conference then.
Yeah, and if we're
Yeah.
smart about it, we can pick teams like, the Dolphins who don't have a first round pick.
True.
Will
Yeah.
they trade up though? Do they do that?
They could do.
Maybe.
They could try to anyway.
Mock draft, no, anything can happen. I reckon, yeah, Dolphins is a good one.
Yeah.
I think we got to keep our own teams in there. So from the north, obviously,
Ooh.
Steelers stay in. Do we want the
I'd say
Runner-
Bengals.
Bengals out, the runners up?
Yeah, we all know what they need to do.
Yeah. The
Colts.
South, Colts.
Yeah, they haven't got a first. Do the same
Okay.
with the Raiders.
Okay. East is an interesting one.
Yeah.
I think out of all of them, I would say the Cowboys, because the
Yeah.
Giants have got a couple picks, the Eagles have got a couple, and Washington's always an interesting one. So
They're quite early, Washington as well. aren't
Cowboys, yeah.
they? Bears.
North, Bears haven't got one. South, they've all got one. I think you've got 2 early picks. Saints have got some requirements. Bucks, maybe. I know Murph probably won't be too happy, but actually, going on the last mock draft, he probably will be happy if none of us are picking for him. So, should we say the Bucks?
Yeah, well, let's do the Bucks, and then he can't moan, can he?
Exactly. And then Rams, they don't have a pick.
There we go. Easy as that.
We happy?
Let's do this.
You know what's going to happen now, don't you? No one's going to
Right,
draft.
look
No,
at
it's
this.
going to be no.
There we go. The Colts straight in.
We got one straight
Wow.
away.
No.
No.
Are the Colts taking the Michael there? I mean, because
Yeah, I know.
What is that?
That's horrendous. I mean,
Okay,
that's
so for those who are not watching on the on video, the Jacksonville Jaguars have received the trade for the first pick from the Colts with the 42nd, the 73rd, a 2023 second, a 23 third, and a 23 third from Washington. So
2 seconds, 3 thirds
for the
for
number
the
one
number
overall pick.
one overall
yeah,
pick.
that's crazy.
That's almost as bad, Tom, as the trade you pulled off earlier in our Dynasty League.
I don't want to comment on that.
I mean, that's a flat rejection, isn't it? There's no.
Oh, straight up.
Yeah, I need to hide that. Yeah, okay. I think that's
Was that the only one?
That was the only one we were offered. Yeah, so we are on the clock with the Jags. I'm still in agreement that I don't think anyone else is going to come up to get the number one. So it's now on who do we go for? And just my 2 pence straight away. I know there's been some talk of Evan Neal going number one.
Oh,
I've
I know,
changed
right?
my opinion on that massively because of the signings that they've made and the fact that they've kept Robinson. They've got Sheffer, they've got Brandon Sheffer in the guard. They've got Juwan Taylor on the right. They've got, who did they draft last year? The Stanford bloke, Walker Little.
Walker.
Yeah, he is potentially going to swing over to the right and compete with Juwan Taylor. So I don't think they're going to go for tackle anymore. Changed my mind on it. So
neither do I. But the one thing I would say is, the franchise tag is 12 months.
yeah,
So I don't give as much credence to the argument of, oh well, they've tagged Robinson, so that the tackle's off the board. It's the second year in a row they've tagged him. So when you draft him, you're not drafting just the year ahead. You draft him for the next 5 years. But that said, I agree. I don't think the Jags are going tackle.
no.
I can't disagree with that. I'm not going to try to because, obviously we've had this chat with Neil going at one, and Ash has made some fair points. So I guess next up it's got to be edge at this position, right? Or is Kyle Hamilton going to find himself number one?
No, I think it is edge for me.
Yeah, edge.
And yeah, it's got to be Hutchinson surely as the number one. I mean, unless anyone disagrees.
No, for the purpose
agree.
of time limits, there's
Yeah.
limitations. I'm going to say no.
No, okay. I think it's a pretty easy one there once you eliminate tackle. So okay. Lions.
Hutchinson 1 to the Jags. Lions at 2.
Yeah. No computer generated proposals. Do we think?
See, I think the Lions could trade back from this position because they need so much. If they were to drop back 3 or 4 spots to the Jets, the Giants, even the Panthers or the Falcons at 8, I think they get so much more draft capital and be able to pick up a player that is still going to do a job. A top 10 pick in the NFL draft is worth their weight in gold as we've seen in recent years. So I think the Lions would trade back. Whether or not we want to propose a trade to move back, or do we just take best player available because they desperately need the help everywhere?
I think the Giants is a good shout here because I think the Jets and Giants are, shopping in on the same aisles in this draft. It's the line, edge rusher. I mean, the Jets have got maybe more of a need at wide receiver, but I wouldn't say that the Giants are fully stacked there either. So I think if we are going to make a move, I think the Giants might make sense coming up from 5.
Yeah,
it's what we offer alongside it, though.
Well, I feel like they've got. I'm not entirely sure on their roster of picks this year, but they do have that second first round pick, so they can almost afford to give up a bit more in order to secure that pick, unless they're going to give up both. But I can't see them winning to go that far.
Not 5 and 7. I'd be very surprised.
When the Jets moved from 6 to 2 for Darnold, it was 3 second round picks. Now, because this isn't a quarterback situation and a quarterback heavy draft, why don't we go for a second this year and next?
Okay.
Don't you think that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on board with that. I think I don't think it would be accepted, but I think in the ground, like you say, it's not a quarterback situation, so it's probably the most realistic we could probably look at for that. So let's chuck it in. So pick 2 for Giants, 5.36 on a 20-23 seconds. Let's see what it says. Well, declined.
Not interested.
No.
I mean, in theory, if they wanted it, they would have come up. Although it is us, so
Yeah.
This is where the balance of us doing every pick sort of.
I also think it's, as you say, because it's not a quarterback. I mean, we say it's not a quarterback. The Lions could well take a quarterback at 2, but I think in my thought process is it wouldn't be a quarterback, and it's very rich to be spending that much on a non-quarterback to move up 3 spaces. So on that front, then what are we thinking next for the Lions? I mean,
they need everything, as I said.
They do need everything, and they could. I mean, what's their line situation tackle wise? I mean, they've got Sewell from last year, haven't they?
They're sorted at the tackles.
They are, yeah. Decker.
That's one place where they're not in need. I mean, they could go if they love Hamilton. They could go Hamilton.
Yeah.
Walker, Thibodeau, even Malik Willis.
I would be leaning between Hamilton and Walker. Personally, I think looking at their roster, they're probably the 2 areas, bar the quarterback, that jump out at me. I think the fact they've got the 32nd pick, there's going to be a quarterback there if they really want a quarterback.
Yeah, definitely. Why not Thibodeau here? Why not give Penei Sewell a roommate from Oregon? I'm still not. Thibodeau still needs time for me. I think Walker is more ready. Okay. On that basis, then, and this isn't a standard mock draft, let's put Walker in because I haven't seen him go 2 yet.
Yeah, you happy with that, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, if it's between him and Hamilton, I think positional value just edges it.
Yeah, okay. Right. 2. Texans. Now, Tom, me and you had a conversation about this pick when we were the Texans and the Falcons anyway. So
yeah, let's see if we can get the Falcons up to 3.
I agree, yeah. So we are Falcons for the Texans.
What are Atlanta coming up for, boys? What were you talking about earlier?
Quarterback.
Atlanta strike me at the minute as a franchise in complete desperation mode.
Mm-hmm.
And desperate franchises make Dave Gettleman style decisions. And if any franchise is going to get desperate for a quarterback, I think it's the Falcons.
Yeah, I agree.
Poor Malik Willis.
Poor might not.
Oh yeah, as I say, it might not. Yeah. So what did we say? What was it, Tom? I can't remember.
I think we wanted 3 and 37
Yeah.
in exchange for the next 2 firsts and the 2 seconds this year.
Oh, yeah, it was that one that 8, 43, 58 Atlanta first for 3 and 37.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Stocks. Yeah.
Wow. That is a hell of a lot to go on a guy whose ceiling is enormous, but floor could fall out below him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a chaotic.
This is the thing. I think if Falcons are moving up, that they're moving up for a quarterback. I think it's a bit of a different scenario to the Giants. Yes, the Giants probably could potentially take a quarterback because obviously Jones, but I think everybody knows if Falcons are ringing you to come up, it's going to be for a quarterback, so they're going to pay the premium.
Do we think though, because this isn't a quarterback class, and there potentially isn't anyone ahead of them apart from maybe the Panthers that could go quarterback realistically, are they going to be willing to pay that price, or if they miss out, they'll just think, well,
I just think there's going to be other teams that are going to try and come up as well. So you're right, there is only really the Panthers above them, but then you've also got the Jets there who have got 2 picks in the top 10. You've got the Giants there who have got 2 picks in the top 10. Lions have got 2 in the first round. There's a real chance for someone to come in and snipe both the Panthers and the Falcons.
Yeah, they've got the Falcons have got to leapfrog Carolina and be wary of anyone trying to get there as well.
It's not how I would build my franchise, but the chaos theory behind this, lads, is fantastic. So I think we should.
This is Atlanta. They're not building the franchise the right way anyway.
No, exactly. So I reckon we pull the trigger and see what happens.
Okay,
let's go.
It's
declined. Wow. I'm surprised that's been declined, to be honest with you, with the amount that
I think if we take the computer out of it and think of the human element and how much Houston needs to rebuild, I think that's a better trade than the computer makes it out to be.
I agree.
But then if we have to pick, for me, I want to make the case for Kayvon Thibodeau.
Okay. I was gonna say Neil, but go on. Why Thibodeau?
I think that I'm going to have a little bit of a rant now, if that's all right with you guys. This BS about character concerns is bordering on racist. I mean, you've got a young, confident, intelligent, outstanding athlete, and people are bringing up character concerns because he said that he didn't want to get his education at the University of Alabama. Nobody wants to get their education at the University of Alabama. If he's thinking of his life after football, then he's a smart young man. So this whole character concerns nonsense. I've got a real problem with it. And if a team is trying to sort of lower his draft stock, they're doing a really good job of it at the minute. But this was a guy who was the surefire #1 overall pick before the game had been played this year. That talent hasn't gone anywhere.
I completely agree. It was exactly the same with Penei Sewell. Not necessarily the character issues, but we thought he was going #1 overall at the start of the year before, and obviously went to the Lions. I think he's, for me, better than Hutchinson. He does need work, as Ash said, but I think his ceiling is higher. And I think when you look at what the Texans did with JJ Watt and the franchise player he became for them, I think Thibodeau can do it for them as well, and I think they can build around him. So I think Thibodeau here is a fantastic pick.
I'll go with the consensus. I look at I was saying Neil because their line looks shaky outside of Tunsil and Howard, but he's still got something to prove from last year. But then I look at their defense and it's actually a shambles. So. Just looking at what I think their starting defense will be next year, pretty much everybody's an undrafted free agent. There's like 4 or 5 players. So I'm happy to go Thibodeau here.
With their pick at 13, I think you can get. I think there's less risk in passing now and getting an offensive lineman at 13.
Yeah,
the edge rushers you're getting at 13, they're not going to compare to him.
No, that's true. I completely forgot they had the 13. So, yeah, okay, I'm happy with Thibodeau here. I'll go with a consensus on that one.
Imagine that, the first 3 picks, edge rushers. That would be
I
sick.
know. Do you know what? It's not beyond belief either, because Walker has absolutely flown up people's boards, and the scouts are absolutely raving about him. So he is right up there in conversation now. I would not be surprised if there is free edge rushers. I think Thibodeau, as you say, it might just be media that's doing it, but there does seem to have been some. But he does seem to be dropping somewhat, but I wouldn't be shocked to see this as a 1-2-3.
Before we do go over to New York and Tom to make this pick, I just want to shout out Pitsy, who has apparently got us on the big screen in the lounge. So shout out to
Nice
Pitsy.
one, Pixie.
Yeah, I love it.
Tom, Jets at 4, my man.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're going to follow your lead here, and I think Sauce Gardner's going to be punched, right?
It's looking that way. Yeah, we're about to make draft history with. I think this will be the first time we got 4 defensive players off the board with the first 4 picks. But it could have been edge rusher, but Thibodeau was the pick, and he's gone.
Yeah.
Now it's probably a case of Sauce Gardner or Kyle Hamilton. The Jets haven't invested anywhere near decent draft capital in a cornerback for too long. I just think that Sauce Gardner is quite clearly the best cornerback in this class. And as a scheme fit, he's exactly what the Jets are looking for. They've got DJ Reed, who they're hoping is a starting corner on the outside. But at 5'9", you could quite easily shift him in. I know the Jets haven't gone cornerback recently, but for me, it's Gardner.
Yeah, I'm happy.
I can't give any criticism there. I mean, they've picked up Reed, and they also picked up Whitehead for the safety. So I think Hamilton is probably out of the question here. I think Whitehead, Reed, and Gardner on the field together. It's a nice secondary. I'm happy with Gardner. Short and sweet. Giants 5th. First to 2. Do we think anyone's going to come for this now? Based
on our earlier adventure into trade, the Falcons, if they didn't get what they wanted going up to 3, surely they're now going to try and jump Carolina here to 5.
I was about to say, I think we've got to put a Falcon offer on the board if we've done it for the 3.
It's only right for the 3 Falcons fans that listen to this.
So who was it? The Giants, wasn't it?
It's just a case of now how much less they're going to give up for this pick than 2 picks ago.
So they've got 2 seconds and 2 thirds this year, haven't they, Atlanta?
Yes.
Do we try and give up one of each of those? Is that sensible?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is sensible Falcons considering what we've talked about? Is
that... So I think if we say 43 and switch one, 74 or 82.
If it was me, I'd be offering the late 3rd, considering I'd given up the early 2nd.
Just for the 5th, or do you think they would try and maybe get their 6th or 7th on top of it just to add something? What do you think it would just be?
Later in the day, can't we?
What do you reckon, Stocks, or just outright this?
I just think if you're the New York Giants in this position and someone offers you a trade, you try and take absolutely everything because you're only sliding back a couple of spots, and the players thereafter, there's several options they could take at either one. So
yeah, I mean, Giants are loving life whether they stay or go. So
yeah, I don't think the Falcons are going to get anything else back at the Giants here.
No. Okay, right, let's go for this then. See what they say. Oh, our first accepted. Right, okay, Falcons then at 5. What are we saying? I mean, yeah, it's got to be now, isn't it?
I tried to save you, Malik. I really did, and it's not working.
Yeah, no, there's no arguments for anyone else, is there? Straight out Malik Willis in this one.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So the first 5 picks, obviously, Jags took Adrian Hutchinson, Lions took Trayvon Walker, the Texans took Kayvon Thibodeau, the Jets got Sauce Gardner for our boy Tom, and then the Falcons moved up with the Giants and took Malik Willis. The Panthers are now hurting, but I'm assuming Rob is screaming at the screen now. Evan Neal all day long, punched the ticket.
I was about to say Willis is gone. I wouldn't be comfortable picking as a Panther, if I was a Panther, I wouldn't be comfortable picking one of the other guys here. I'd
Unless
rather
the
ride
Panthers-
Darnold and get Neil.
Did the Panthers make big moves in the line? Did they pick a couple of guys up on the line in free agency? From what I seem to remember, Rob.
So they've got Cam Irvin and Tyler Morton, and then interior they've got Austin Corbett, Pat Elfline, and Bradley Bosman.
Yeah, so they need a lineman.
Yeah.
Um,
Evan Neal seems a very good value even at 6. And
I would. The thing that I keep thinking that for the Panthers, Charles Cross makes sense.
Yeah.
As a pass protector, but I suppose if you're going to be leaning on McCaffrey, if he's healthy, you might want someone stronger in run defense. I wouldn't be surprised to see Ike Ekwonu go ahead of Evan Neal. I know they've both got the positional versatility, but Ekwonu in the run game is fierce.
Yeah, I think Neal's the passing one for me.
When it comes down to it, who's higher on your board?
Neal.
Okay, well there it is.
Yeah. Okay. Neal it is. Oh, we have a trade offer. Stocks.
Dallas want to come up from pick 24 to take the 7th off of the New York Giants. And to do so, they're going to offer 24, 56, 88, 129, and a second next year.
Do you know what? I know it's. I mean, I would be tempted at that, considering they've got the 8. I know Giants have needs, but look at that. Look at what they're getting back in return from that.
I'd punch accept on that. If that was me, just because of the 8th. But before we do this, what are the Cowboys coming up all that way to get here?
Yeah,
are they coming up?
It's got to be a lineman, hasn't it?
So the Giants are essentially they're definitely going to take one of Ekwonu or Cross with one of these 2 picks, right?
Yeah.
So the other one would likely be Hamilton. So what we're essentially saying, if we accept this offer, is we're willing to not take Kyle Hamilton and get one of Ekwonu or Cross, whoever Dallas doesn't take.
So, here's if we're going to give up Kyle Hamilton, would you rather Kyle Hamilton and either of the tackles here, or would you rather either of the tackles and then the Michigan safety at 24 and a load more Daxton Hill and a load more picks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hamilton's the clearest one safety, but Hill is first round talent.
Yeah,
it's a good backup to have. Yeah, I'm happy to punch it then.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
So Dallas are up, and good lord,
they took Jordan Davis.
They took Jordan Davis, defensive tackle from Georgia. Now, the surprise in the studio, Rush Nation, is that the New York Giants have received another offer for number 8, and this is from the Bengals. They would receive pick 31, pick 63, pick 95, a second and a third next year, but pretty much slide out the first round. Tom's shaking his head. Ash is definitely against this, and I would be hitting no because of the draft capital we just gained from the pick.
I was about to say, if we hadn't have taken that at 7, I would probably say yes, but you can't lose both of your top picks. So
they desperately need a lineman. You ain't getting one at 31. That's exactly why Cincinnati's trying to move up.
Exactly.
For me, it's Ike Ekwonu over Charles Cross here, just for the positional versatility.
I would agree, and I would agree, because not only that, I think Ekwonu is going to be a guard, and Stocks, we spoke about it on the lineman news. They've got Andrew Thomas from a couple of years ago as a tackle, and Matt Pert as well. So I think he can easily slip into guard quite comfortably. I would be Ekwonu here.
Yep, I'm fully on board with that.
Cool. Okay. Oh,
wowzers. Okay, so the Seahawks are at 9. If Malik Willis was there at 9, do we think they're taking that there? Do we think?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. They have a trade offer. The Seahawks will be giving up the 9th pick and the 229th pick I don't even have the math in my head to work out when that is, but I know it's very, very late.
Seventh round.
Oh, there you go. The first round pick and nothing. They'll be getting from the Chicago Bears the 39th, the 48th, the 71st, and a second next year.
So 3 seconds and a third
to move out.
The Seahawks do love moving out.
Yeah, but not. But they're not usually at 9, are they?
Oh no, and they're welcome for that, by the way. I'm.
What are they picking? What are Seahawks picking here now that Willis is off the board? Wow.
Okay, so they need a tackle, a linebacker, a corner, and defensive tackle further down the line. Surely,
Jermaine Johnson is also an option here for me.
I feel like Tom shouldn't really be allowed to talk about this pick because he could be swayed about who's going to be coming next. So
That's true.
I just think that the Seahawks need to take a generational safety like Kyle Hamilton and pair him with another generational safety in Jamal Adams.
I suppose Quandre Diggs is leaving if you listen to the Twitter fear.
Was entirely sarcastic. Just needed to mention Jamal Adams' name.
Before we talk about the Seahawks picks, we're going to reject this pick, right?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. Not for 9. Okay. So,
as much as Tom was being sarcastic there, it would make huge sense for them to have a safety pairing like that. But I think going back on previous years and just how much abuse Russell Wilson in that run game didn't get from a porous offensive line, to not take Charles Cross here would be, in my opinion, a terrible move for them. As good as Kyle Hamilton is, I think they've already got a safety. And having
Hamilton's not in consideration for me. They've got Adams and Diggs. They don't need Hamilton's great, but they don't need him. It's Cross or Johnson for me. I think they can do with a explosive edge, and like you say, they can do with everywhere on the line really.
I think Charles Cross is the pick here. I'm happy to go. If you boys both think edge, I'm happy to take edge, but I think Charles Cross for me here.
Tom?
My view when you've not got the quarterback is protect him before he's through the building. You know, like a situation like the Browns where you want to go and play behind that offensive line. So I'm going to say Charles Cross too.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's go.
Super. Tom, 10.
They are really gunning for it, aren't they?
The Bears have, before we get to 10, the Bears have offered Tom just for the 10th pick, the 39th, the 48th, the 71st, the 150th, and a second round pick from next year.
No.
Yeah.
The Jets have got 10 picks this draft already. They don't need any more draft capital. They've got enough. Okay. Now I'm not going to take Hamilton because this is the Jamal Adams pick from the Seahawks, and I don't want to replace like for like. I want to get more value in terms of position here. Wow. So it's either one of the edges, Karlaftis and Jermaine Johnson, or the Jets take a swing at wide receiver in the form of Garrett Wilson or Drake London.
Garrett Wilson was what I was going to say.
I think it's a tough one. For me, Garrett Wilson is undoubtedly wide receiver 1. Drake London as the big X-type receiver is exactly what the Jets are looking for. They've got the shifty guy in Elijah Moore. They've got Corey Davis as a solid wide receiver too. I do think Wilson's a better wide receiver. So I'm going to throw it back to you guys. Just bring me back an edge or a wide receiver.
Yeah, you're right on Wilson. I wasn't considering more there. I think if you were going to, London would be the one as the. But I have to say, I'd probably be agreeing an edge here for me, and I'd be going back to who I wanted in the last pick for the Seahawks, Jermaine Johnson. Personally, if it's out of Karlaftis or Johnson, I would personally be going for Johnson.
All the noise at the Senior Bowl is that the Jets loved him as well.
Mm.
Well, that's enough for me.
Okay, there we go then. Quick and easy.
So
Here they are again.
Who are they after?
the Bears are clearly
Chicago
after someone.
phone bill's going to be crazy at the end of
I
this.
don't know.
Okay, the Washington Commanders are up next. The next 5 picks, we had Malik Willis at 5, then Evan Neal at 6, Jordan Davis at 7. The Cowboys came up. The Giants took Ikem Ekwonu at 8, Charles Cross at 9. Tom and his Jets took Jermaine Johnson at 10. And now the Washington Commanders are on the clock with pick 11. And the Bears are knocking once again, offering 39, 48, 71, and a second next year for the 11th and the 113th pick. There's a tiny little bit of me here that just wants to hit accept, just to see who they want.
Same, but it's still no for me. It's just too. It's just not enough. Still, I don't think personally.
For me, the obvious pick at this stage, the player sort of sticking out to me is Derek Stingley Jr. So, from my point of view, it's do I want Derek Stingley Jr. or 3 second rounders?
It's a no for me.
Yeah, no for me as well. Okay.
Super.
And it's funny you mentioned Stingley Jr. because that's who I was leaning towards as well for Washington.
Oh, well, okay. Seeing as you were both leaning that direction and Tom said you want 3 seconds or Derek Stingley Jr., I'm quite happy to punch him in as the cornerback 2, and move on to the Vikings at 12. Odds on the Bears offering for the 12th pick.
Oh, it's going to be high, isn't it? Hey,
there they are. Same offer again. Oh, so 3 seconds.
It's getting worse.
Yeah, this is the Bears are chancing their arm here with the 12th pick from the Vikings.
I still can't figure out who it is that they'd be going for.
Surely it has to be Kyle Hamilton at this point, no?
It's got to be. Still a no for me, though. Sorry, Stocks.
Yeah,
you didn't actually say what the offer was.
It's 39-48, a second and a fifth from next year. So,
do you think that the Vikings are in the market for Hamilton at this stage?
Let's reject that.
Yeah, they're after huge secondary help after releasing. Who did they release? And then they need corner and safety help. And considering the top 2 corners are gone, it feels like a no-brainer for me.
I think this is exactly where Hamilton is. I know a lot of people have got him going as a top 10 pick, but because of the positional value, I do see him sliding out. And Harrison Smith is what now? 34, 33, 34?
Yeah, he's got to be around that now, hasn't he? Yeah, Hamilton. I would say Hamilton here. The only other one I would potentially consider is a cornerback, but like you say, the top 2 are gone. The rest of them probably aren't quite at the 12 level in terms of draft capital. So I'm happy for Hamilton.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Kyle Hamilton is a Viking. The Bears again have offered for the Texans. They've offered the Texans 13th pick. They want to give them 39, 48, 71 and a second next year.
Did the Texans pull out from free? Well, they stayed, didn't they?
They stayed. Yeah.
What other draft capital has Texans got this year? Because they've got a lot of they've still got a lot of holes. This is more interesting for me than any of the other ones. I know it's still high and it's moving out of the first now for the rest of the draft for them. But this has got a little bit more
that they need.
Yeah. This has got a little bit more spice to it.
This feels like a top-up trade for them, where they're going to get an early second, a mid-second, and Chicago could still be terrible next year. So that second next year could be a high second.
Early second, mid-second, early third, and as you say, potentially a high second for the 13th. Who is in consideration here for the Texans before we make a decision? I know they need everything, but realistically, who are we? Who would we pull the trigger on right now? For me, it would be a wide receiver.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson.
It would be Garrett Wilson, yeah.
But with the depth at wide receiver.
Yeah, I was just about to say there's so much. Yeah.
3 seconds and a third if that's where you're going to go, listen, Wilson's going to be a star, but you can build more in terms of a team with that capital.
I'm saying yes to this trade.
Yeah. Are you saying yes to the dress? Let's do it.
Okay.
And they can use that to get back in. You know, if they really love a Treylon Burks later on.
Oh, there we go.
Wow.
Jameson Williams.
That's who they. Surely that's not who they've wanted since. What was it? 9?
Do you think they wanted someone different at every pick that we've picked, and it's just gone terribly
I
for
don't
them?
know. I don't hate that pick. Don't get me wrong. I think obviously coming off of the ACL, so there is a bit of it's going to take some time, but
surely
rich when London and Wilson are sat there.
Yeah, and surely for the Justin Fields connection, you'd want
Yeah,
Wilson
right. Yeah,
over the guy that ended up having to go down to Tuscaloosa to get away from him.
The computer decided, so Ravens
at 14.
Any
movement? For me, for the Ravens, it's the interior of the defensive line. Now Jordan Davis is gone, right?
Yes.
So I have no worries going with Devontae Wyatt.
Okay.
Yep.
For me,
feels like a overpay at 14 here. But if that is their huge need, he's outside the first round according to PFN.
No, I think Wyatt is a first round potential for me. That's not my concern.
Or Trent McDuffie. If you're going to go secondary, I think Trent McDuffie.
Yeah, secondary was the only other thing I was considering. What is more pressing for them? Haven't
they just? Is Patrick Peterson there? Was he there?
No, Pat Peterson's at Vikings, isn't he? Marcus Peters is it, or was at Ravens? I don't know if he's
Marcus Peters.
I would probably, I mean, I think defensive tackle. If we're going for a defensive tackle, it's Wyatt, and looking at what they can use, I would. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy to go Devontae Wyatt here.
Yeah, agreed. If that's okay. Well, Tom was very stern in his conviction straight out the gate. So
I'm not paying huge amounts of attention to PFN's.
No, same
either, because I don't know. There's some guys that I think that they're way too high on. Have they still got Jordan Davis as a top 10 overall player?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Right, first Eagles pick.
Back-to-back Eagles picks at 15 and 16.
Are they moving? Do we think? Is there anybody below them that would potentially want to move up here?
I think there's some teams who'll be itching for a wide receiver at this point.
Yeah. The Eagles being one of them.
Yeah.
The Eagles, yeah, but they've got the capital later on to address it. What about the Packers?
Yeah, I mean,
Are you gonna come up for Wilson, or are you gonna sit tight and hope that one of Olave or Burks finds the way down to you?
They've got the flexibility this year to potentially try and do that and get someone like Wilson. I think I don't think it's a bad shout to give it a go.
Okay. So the Eagles, the Packers are going to try and come up from.
It's got to be 22.
22 up to 15.
Yeah.
Are they going to?
I think it's going to cost you a second and a fourth.
Okay.
So
just for the 15th.
53 and 92.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, I suppose 92 is the back end of the third. Anything you can get back from the Eagles?
I was about to say that. Yeah, I think give us that. I know Packers have got a ton of low value ones, but
the give us that Ash mentioned was the 194th pick for those on the audio. All right. Yeah,
I'm happy to give that a go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
The Eagles said yes.
They said yes. So Garrett Wilson it is. Easy. Job done.
There you are, Aaron Rodgers. Have yourself a first-round receiver and quit moaning.
Didn't they? So they got... Did they get the 22nd pick for Adams?
Yeah.
So they've got that for Adams, and then they just spent all that to get up for Wilson. Yeah,
I
okay.
think we used the second as well.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, okay, maybe Packers fans might not be too happy about that, but
Packers fans have been crying
Wilson.
for a receiver in the draft for years, and they've just got rid of Adams.
Yeah, true. Right, Eagles here. For me, I would be looking wide receiver or linebacker. What are we saying?
The Eagles, I think, need a linebacker more than a wide receiver, and
They've
with
got
the pick at 22.
Yeah,
I think with the pick at 22, obviously, if they didn't trade out of 15, they could easily go Garrett Wilson and Devin Lloyd here. But the fact that they traded out of 15, Garrett Wilson went. There will be a receiver at 22, at 19 now. Sorry, but will there be a Devin Lloyd?
No.
So
and this whole argument that the Eagles don't take linebackers in the first round, the Eagles don't have 3 first-round picks every year. So the argument that the Eagles won't go for a linebacker first, for me, is bizarre, because you can address it and address more important positions in terms of value. So yeah, Devin Lloyd all the way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. Smash it in. Right. Charge. Ooh.
The Colts are back at business here. The Colts, the Chargers are at 17. The Colts want another go at the first round and have offered the 42nd, the 73rd, a second, a third, and a fourth next year for pick 17.
No.
It's a lot of juice, but no.
It's not a lot of lemon, though.
No. Starts,
No?
No. Yeah,
no good.
In agreement. Okay. Chargers.
Well, they're not going defensive player here, surely, after everyone they've just signed.
No. Are they going wide receiver or line? Offensive line, that is.
I think offensive line.
Yeah. Considering they just re-signed Mike Williams, to a huge deal.
Now, Rashawn Slater, I'm assuming we're going to put him left tackle, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think you can either address the interior with Zion Johnson or go get Trevor Penning.
Yeah, I mean, my first instinct was Trevor Penning, because he can sit right in on that right tackle. Stocks.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, Trevor Penning it is.
Saints. About him. Oh.
Okay, now this is an interesting trade.
Yeah.
Thank you, Indy. Now we're getting somewhere.
So after the mediocrity of the Bears' 1,000 picks thrown at the draft board earlier, the Saints are on the clock at 18. Indy have come back, as Tom says. They've offered the 42nd, so the 10th pick in the second round, and their 2023 first round pick. Interesting.
Do you know what? Now Penning has gone, I think this could be more interesting for the Saints.
So the Saints are definitely after a wide receiver, right? Even though they've signed a lot of wide receivers in free agency, none of them no one knows what's happening to Michael Thomas. They say they expect him back, but that's pretty much all we've heard of from that ether. As we've mentioned, the wide receiver class is hugely deep, and there will be somebody good at 42.
Yeah.
It's just whether or not they were going to go wide receiver at 18.
For me, it's, do you want Olave more than settling for, I don't know, a Sky Moore or a Jahan Dotson and that first round pick next year?
It's the first round pick next year that intrigues me.
I don't think it's going to be an early first.
No. Personally, for me, if Trevor Penning was still here, I would be saying no, because I think the Saints would take him and put him in at tackle. But I think the fact that he's gone, and as you say, the wide receiver class is so deep, when we're looking at the second round picks, I would say yes to this, to get that first back.
Yeah. And it might just be, that pick that can help them get up and get a quarterback should they need it next year.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Do you want Jahan Dotson and capital to go up next year and get yourself an elite quarterback, which
do it.
they may need, or do you just want someone random at 18? So
Nah, let's do it. Let's go. Accepted. Okay.
Kenny Pickett. Sorry, Matt Ryan.
Yeah. What was the contract he's been given there? Has he been given a new contract for the Colts?
Well, I think he's only signed up for a year, right?
I think so. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head, but I mean, I don't hate it. I actually don't hate that. I think
what about
the only thing
point of view at 20?
Yeah, that's annoying. The only thing I would say about Pickett being the one that the Colts have taken here is he's more ready than any of the others. So if you're going to have someone sat behind Ryan,
it's not him.
It's not him. But I don't hate that they've gone for a quarterback, to be honest, at all. Anyway,
it's such a Packers Jordan Love move, that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Eagles at 19. What are we saying?
I'm so taken aback by that. That is.
I'm still going to bang the drum for Trent McDuffie here, or Tyler Linderbaum, because I'm losing faith in Jason Kelce.
He's got 1 year left, surely, hasn't he? And then that's it. It's got to be. Can they get Linderbaum at 22 though, and take McDuff?
Well, is there any? I don't think there's any danger of the Patriots taking him at 21. What about the Steelers at 20?
So the more I think about it, there is a chance. Yes, we have signed Mason Cole in the offseason, and we have Kendrick Green, who was terrible last year, but obviously he is still there, and we invested a third in him. But there is potential that they do take him here if the landscape falls the way it does. But if I had to put money on it, I would probably say no. Is there anyone else? I think it's those two. If we can get them at 19 and 22, I'd be happy with that. But it's just which one we go for first. Who do we think is less likely to be sat there?
I don't think.
I don't think either.
Patriots are going corner.
I don't think either of them are going to.
All right. Okay. Well, everybody seems fairly keen. The only thing I would say here is wide receiver. We haven't mentioned one, considering we talked about it up at 15, 16.
Yeah, but we got the capital back, didn't we, for the trade?
That's why these mock drafts are fantastic. But the fact we only do the first round and we miss out
I know.
It's hugely irritating.
We have to take it that the Eagles are taking a wide receiver with their second. Unless you think a wide receiver is the right move. As I say, it's.
Well, no, you're right with the capital, and I think Jahan Dotson is hugely underrated. And if they can get him early on in the second, or at least move up for him with some of the capital, I think
London is still there, though, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, you take Linderbaum as the centre, and that's it. Then you're not looking at a centre until late third round, minimum. After that, Linderbaum is the only option there, and you hit the nail on the head there with Kelce. I think he's got 1 year left. They've got the capital this year to take the best centre in the first round and be locked up for them for another 10, 15, 10 years at centre, like they have been with Kelce for however long he's been there.
Well, let's play it out as not a wide receiver then, and we could gesticulate about the second round talent or whatever it is. So at 19, the Eagles took Linderbaum. Ash, you were on the clock at 20 with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Kenny Pickett has gone.
Yeah.
Are you now going to take a corner, considering you just said you wouldn't?
No, I wouldn't take. I still wouldn't take a corner here. If anything, I know we've brought back Okafor as a tackle this year.
It's not there, is it?
Bernard Ryman's there. He would be the only consideration for me at tackle.
Oof. Wow.
I can see him going in the first.
Yeah, definitely. I think 20 minutes potentially a bit rich, but I think considering what's gone at tackle already, it's him or nothing. You're then looking at second. I'm just not sold on any of these guys fully to do it this year.
Wait until you've seen 8 weeks of Mitch Trubisky.
I know. The thing is, though, if I don't go quarterback and if I don't go tackle. Do you know what? Daxton Hill is the only other consideration here for me.
Oh,
Because we have Micah Fitzpatrick and then we have nothing. And we do frequently play two safeties. Oh, I don't like it. Give me someone help me. I need help. What are you guys thinking? If you're picking for the Steelers, what are you thinking here?
If I was trying to make you happy picking for the Steelers, I'd go line.
Yeah.
Is there any desire to fix the interior and take Zion Johnson, or do you want to tackle?
So we picked up James Daniels for one of them, and we've got Kevin Dotson as the left. Dotson is done all right.
And Johnson took some snaps at centre in the Senior Bowl as
He
well.
did, yeah,
if
he
needed
did.
there.
Johnson's taken snaps everywhere in college, as Stocks found out in our tackle episode.
no, he's taken one snap at the
That's one competitive snap.
Oh, because he practiced all the time but wasn't good
Kenyon
enough.
Green is still there as well. I don't understand the
Kenyon
drop.
Green,
I don't understand that 29.
No.
I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I know. I'm going Kenyon Green.
Kenyon Green at 20 for the Steelers.
Yeah.
The New England Patriots are on the clock at 21. I don't really know what to say here except they need safety. Cornerback.
Know who I would be taking here. Do I? Yeah. N'Kobe Dean.
N'Kobe Dean?
Mm-hmm.
Great minds, Ash. Great minds. He just screams Belichick, doesn't he?
He screams Belichick, and they've got a lot of maybe guys currently at middle linebacker at the minute who haven't made it elsewhere.
Yeah. Dean's just got the pedigree. I know he's undersized, but if you look at how he gets across the field, he's a Belichickian dream.
Mm-hmm.
Done deal.
Okay, love it. Hate it at the same time because I don't want Dean to be at Patriots, but there we go.
No, I'd hate it too.
Right. McDuffie, then surely that's what our experiment was going to be, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, Drake London's still there though.
So okay, let's
Sorry,
play. No, that's fine.
I said McDuffie, but
we'll play devil's the word. We'll do that. Say we go London here, and then they take quarterback next round. Tyler Gordon potentially going to be gone at the end of the first round. McDuffie's going to be gone. Alam's going to be gone. Booth's going to be gone. You're looking at McCreary. Gordon maybe still be there. But London is so good.
I don't mind Emerson as a second rounder. Again, he's another guy that slipped. I don't mind Emerson in the second. I
think you've got an option there. Whichever one you want to go for first, out of wide receiver or corner, you're probably going to have a decent option as the next in the second round.
I really like the idea of Drake London and Devontae Smith and the different skill sets that they'd offer as a tandem.
Yeah, I like that.
What are you thinking, Stocks?
I feel like every mock draft Drake London, it seems to end up at the Eagles, even now at 22.
It's destined to happen. That's why.
I'm just trying to work out whether, after taking Devonta Smith last year, and who else did they take the year before?
Jalen
Rager.
Wasn't Arcega-Whiteside a second as well?
Yeah, when they could have.
Year before, wasn't it? Yeah, I think so.
I just think, yes, I love Drake London and I love the way he plays football. But I think Trent McDuffie here, I think I would rather have a stellar, as the Philadelphia Eagles and what they've invested in wide receiver, as much as Drake London makes sense here, I think Trent McDuffie or even Andrew Booth Jr. makes sense here from a franchise point of view because of the capital we gained from that trade and wide receiver depth.
Okay, I can live with that.
I think we go McDuffie. That's what our game plan was when we took Linderbaum at 19. So I reckon McDuffie.
I think if you look at those for 3 picks, I'm really excited about what the Eagles can do. I mean, you have got 3 absolute certain starters there for me,
Yeah.
and not just in year one. You know, particularly with Linderbaum, we're talking 5-6 years beyond.
The Cardinals are at 23, and there has not been a trade offer anywhere coming up.
No, with Carl Aftis on the board, I don't think they'll be entertaining it.
You reckon it's Carl Aftis, yeah?
Yeah.
I do, yeah. He's,
Okay.
For someone with his college production to fall to 23, you're doing backflips.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. Wide receiver potentially was in consideration, but no, I have to agree with you. Yeah, Carl Aftis is an easy pick there for the Cardinals.
So the
So
Giants
remind me who we took with the Giants.
We have taken Ekwonu.
Okay.
So what would the Giants done had they not have traded back?
Ekwonu and
Would they have gone twice on the line there?
nah, I think they probably would have gone. I mean, if it was me, I probably would have gone.
Probably, I think corner.
Yeah, I would say I'd have to say probably corner as well.
Well, if they were going to go corner, Andrew Booth Jr. is still there. He's a first-round talent, and they got a load of capital. It seems like a too nice a pick for the Giants to fall back and get a first-round corner when they were going to go corner 10 picks ago or whatever it was.
Yeah, I'm happy with that.
And I think the drop off from Stingley to Booth Jr. is, not too significant considering you've fallen into the mid-20s.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Perfect.
Haven't they got a no, that's Thomas. Ignore me. 25.
The Bills.
This is a difficult one, you know. There's one player that's sticking out for me straight off, and that's Sion Johnson. I don't think Bills have got many holes to fill, really. I mean,
I think the Bills are like the Titans this year, and they've made some good free agent acquisitions, and they always seem to have their first-round pick was almost a luxury pick. They have that feel about them this year where there isn't a gaping hole that they need to fill. And when you've got a quarterback who's as good as Josh Allen is, Zion Johnson makes sense here to protect him.
Yeah, definitely. I think you've got Roger Safford and Ortega as the guards. I would be more than happy for Johnson here.
Tom, anything against that?
Possibly Kyer Elam. Possibly.
Who have they got at corner at the minute? Davis.
It's just
Davis.
The secondary is good. It's just aging.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Still, I think again for me.
I've said my piece.
Yeah.
I can live with it. I can live with Zion Johnson.
Okay.
Can you, before I go any further, Ash, just remind me who the Jets took at 10, please?
The Jets at 10 took Johnson.
Okay, so I think right now, from this pick onwards, the Jets are very much in the market for trading back into the first round.
Okay.
Whether the Titans, are the trade partner, I'm not sure.
The Titans. So if we're talking about picks for the Titans, wide receiver still. I know they picked up Woods.
There's no way.
Brown.
There's no way they go wide receiver at 26 after picking up Woods. No.
No. Okay. No. Fair enough.
So, are you saying Titans aren't taking a receiver here?
No, not even with the players available. The fact that Drake London is still there at 26 is borderline offensive now. But
I think we know. I think we know where the Jets are going if they come up.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Because the Buccaneers are in the market, the Chiefs are in the market.
Is there? So realistically, we're looking for what the Titans could potentially need here. If we're discounting wide receiver now at this point, linebacker, there isn't one worth taking now in the first round. Now Dean and Lloyd have gone. Cornerback, Alamis is still there. Edge, not really anything now in the first round. Oh, I nearly clicked a player then by accident. I would think Titans will be seriously considering this seriously
Let's do
considering.
this.
Well, it's
Let's do this.
your jet, so it's your proposal. What are you saying? And then me and Stocks will vet it before the computer vets it.
I think the Jets are going to have to give 35.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're going to have to swap the third, which is pick 69.
What for?
And I would want 143.
Oh.
I know. I don't think they would take that. Maybe.
I mean, Tennessee and you two both know how desperate me representing the Jets are to get back up there. So I am willing to overpay at this stage.
Can I make a point here that is completely irrelevant to the conversation we're having?
Go on.
About marmalade.
No, but talking of marmalade, I quite like. We've got an orange and whiskey marmalade in the fridge at the moment. It's really good.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. We're over an hour now. Come on.
Oh no, it was always going to go long, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course it was.
With the Chiefs now having 2 first-round picks and Jameson Williams being very similar to Tyreek Hill, do we think we have completely overlooked the fact that they could trade up with one of those picks to get Jameson Williams?
Jameson Williams is long gone, mate.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but have we
completely overlooked that in that they had 2 first-round picks?
Yeah, potentially. But I think once Williams went inside the top 10, they probably went, "Nah, you're all right." I don't think they had any interest in going that high to get him. But no, to be honest, we also we haven't given it thought that is potentially a more feasible move for the Jets as well. I know that the Chiefs are probably looking for a wide receiver, but they got back-to-back picks. They probably got a bit more chance. But again, the Chiefs are looking for a wide receiver. So if the Jets want London, you're probably looking at these next 3 picks before the Chiefs get there to be sure.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Chuck 117 in. Let's see if that's enough.
Okay.
I'll be happy. The Jets are after pick 26 from the Titans. They're going to give up 35, 69, and 117, and they want 143 back as well. Ash, push the button. Tom's got both fingers.
Right, in that case then, are we taking a pick for the Titans and then are you coming back to try again, or do you want to try with the Titans again? Or do we do one and done for the trade options?
It's only fair that we move on.
Yeah. Okay, so now who are we taking for the Titans? Because I still don't know. I think a lamb for me. Yes, they got Farley last year. They've got Christian Fulton actually the year before. I still know. I'm really struggling as to what I would go for at this stage for the Titans. If we're looking just at best player available right now, they're not going quarterback. You guys have said they're not going to go wide receiver. I still believe there is a chance that they would consider wide receiver, despite having Woods and Roberts here.
Okay, question: How fast is Robert Woods?
Not as fast as Chris Olave.
Yeah,
okay, that was my thought. They've got the big playmaker in AJ Brown. Yes, he can go the distance, but I'm not sure he's a yak monster, right? As opposed to a burner.
The thing is, as well with AJ Brown, there's talk about him being moved on, and I suppose if you address wide receiver here, you can trade him. You can trade him once the draft is up. I mean, Boye Maffei's a shout there. I continue hovering over him. I think he's the best edge rusher available, and the beauty of having the 5th round option.
Do you know what? I think, look, I went on there to see what edges were available because I was looking at what they got Bud Dupree and they've got Outtree.
So does that mean we're going?
Harold Landry, where's he? He lines up on as outside linebacker, doesn't he? I mean, Bo Maffei. Now, I think Bo Maffei is the pick here for me. Looking at what they need and the fact that we haven't got a trade partner, and the best players available on our board and the board are all areas where they probably don't need to go for right now. So
yeah,
Boy Maffei.
Yeah, Boy Maffei.
All right, let's go.
Poor old David Ajobo. That is.
I forgot that the Bucks weren't any of us.
Oh, they took Olave. Right, I'm straight back on the phone to Green Bay now. Come on, Green Bay. Please.
Okay. Green Bay, Jets. 28. And what are you offering?
Okay, 35.69.
Just straight out
Let's
35.69.
have a look. So I think that's fair. Do you think that's fair?
What is it? 7? 6?
It's yeah,
I-
7 bit.
I think it's fair.
I think
And
it's fair.
The reason I think people don't think it is fair is because they see it as dropping first to second round,
Yeah.
and they think, "Oh, we're losing out." Whereas
They
if
got
you
there.
numerically valued every pick, it would be hugely different.
All right, let's go. Let's see. I have a feeling it's going to be decline, but let's try. Yeah.
Oh no!
I thought so.
I hate PFN.
Okay. So you'll get another chat. Are we the Chiefs, or did we move? Did we?
No, we are the Chiefs.
Yeah, we got rid of the Raiders.
Yeah,
Okay.
remove the Raiders.
All right, there's still a chance there. Then let's talk about the Packers now with their second first rounder. They took. Well, they went up for Wilson, didn't they? So they went up for Wilson. What are they looking at now with this?
Kyle
What?
Allen.
Yeah. I mean, so they took Stokes last year, didn't they? In the first round, they've got Jair Alexander, who was a first round.
Might they be a team that's happy to take David Ajabo and wait for him to get healthy?
Maybe.
Yeah, because there hasn't Smith's gone now, isn't he?
Yeah,
Smith's gone. Yeah, Smith's gone. Yeah. They've got.
Are they
Gary,
in a position where they can wait?
Reed,
I think so, because Aaron Rodgers keeps doing Aaron Rodgers things, and they feel like they're in sort of perennial cycle as just keeps going. So
I'm just looking at their roster, and if there's anything else potentially for consideration here. The only other consideration for me, and it is probably maybe a little bit too out there, is Tyler Smith as the tackle. And just looking at their line and the age of it, Smith has got a bit of work that needs doing to him, but he's then also got the chance to, like we were saying about Ajobo sitting and getting healthy. Smith has the potential to sit behind David Bactaria and learn, and then line up as a left tackle alongside Jenkins at the right. It's just another option, but I'm open if you guys want to go for a Jobo. I don't mind.
I feel like he should be drafted in the first round because I think he is first round talent, and the injury is unfortunate.
I mean he's first round potential, but he is raw. And now he's hurt for and it's a bad injury. I don't think it's going to affect him long term. I think he will get to potential, but it's just first now seems a bit too rich for me. But I suppose you could probably say the same for Tyler Smith. I think he's bordering early second, so the first is also still a bit rich, even if it is a late first. I'm happy to go over Jobo if you guys both agree.
Let's do it.
It would be the pick for me.
Yeah, let's go then. Okay.
Right, so we're now on to the Chiefs at 29, and luckily for Tom, they are not computer controlled.
Yeah, but on the
as
flip
we
side,
are currently the front office owners of the Chiefs, we're thinking receiver of one of these two picks, right?
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
So it is a case of who's available at receiver. Drake London is there.
I mean, yes, they are still they are still looking at wide receiver. I was just thinking out loud because obviously they picked up MVS and they obviously got Juju as well, and Hardman's still there. I still think it is wide receiver in one of these picks because it'd be silly not to when you've got the capital. I just don't think it's as big as maybe first thought.
Okay, that's fair enough. Tom, I was trying to make a way that you didn't get a stab at Drake London here, but Ash shot me down.
No,
you've got one more.
I don't think the Chiefs would let that happen either.
No.
As much as I've desperately tried to get Drake London to New York, but
you
for now the Chiefs, it's
for
London
me
or Burks.
Do you know what? For me, one of these picks is a cornerback. If they keep both of these picks,
yeah,
one of these picks is a cornerback.
Yeah.
What is the other
for
pick?
me,
Are
it's
we?
Kaya Elam and Drake London. And I don't think there's anything that the Jets can offer here that isn't ridiculous. I mean, for me, the Jets would have to offer 35 and 38 and then hope to get that late second back.
Well, we can fire it up because if the Jets are overpaying for Drake London, the Chiefs might think.
Sorry, I wasn't listening. What did you say?
What Tom
So
said.
the 2 seconds,
Yeah.
and then that late second, the 62 back.
Let's do it.
Oh, okay. No.
Nah.
Not
So
very
Drake
bad.
London and Kaya Elam for me now.
Okay.
And
The only other
picks.
Yeah, the only other person I would consider here is Daxton Hill. I know they've got Thornhill and Justin Reed, but Reed.
But we don't know what Matthew's doing. You know, Honey Badger's
Yeah, true. He's still up in the air, isn't
still
he?
not committed. So he
He
might
has been
do that.
speaking to the Steelers. Just saying. No, I'm happy with London and Alam here.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
I mean, that's superb business for Kansas, isn't it?
yeah.
Just out of interest, Tom, with the Jets have got an early second still in this draft, right?
Yeah, 2.
If Traylon Burks is there, would you be disappointed not getting Drake London with all these offers you've thrown out?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. The only thing that's changed my mind with Traylon Burks is Joe Douglas has never drafted someone with a relative athletic score of less than 8.5, and Burks is coming in the high 6s. So, although I personally love what Traylon Burks brings, I'm not sure he's as much of a Joe Douglas player than Drake London would have been.
No, I probably agree with you there. That's such a weird Bengals pick for me. I know that people haven't seen it yet, but if you're not watching, but the Bengals have gone Jaquan Brisker safety at 31.
I would have gone for Bernard Raymond there.
I would have gone for Bernard Raymond there as well. Is he still? We didn't take him, did we? No.
No, still there.
I suppose
No.
again when it's computer orientated, they're not going to take someone at 63 on their ADP, are they? Because Jesse Peters is still signed for them, isn't he? Or is that still? No, no, he's not. Sorry, Jesse Bates. Yeah, he's not, is he? He's a. I know they're talking, but I don't think he's actually signed with them at the moment, is he?
No,
I thought he'd been tagged.
He's
They
tagged.
franchise tagged him.
Oh, did they? Okay. Still weird because they got Von Bell as well. That's a weird one for me. But computers decided, so there we go. We're on to the last pick. Lions. Anyone coming up and trying to get us off the Lions?
The thing is for the Lions here, obviously they're picking again in a couple of picks' time, aren't they?
Yeah.
And if you don't go quarterback now, you're missing out on the 5th-year option. So I don't think it makes sense for them to move out if they've taken a quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
Because if you're going to have somebody sit behind Jared Goff for a year, you're going to need that 5th year.
Who did they take it to?
Walker.
Any interest in a wide receiver? Moving back and taking a wide receiver, I'm saying. Would anyone come up to 32? Is probably the first question we have to ask.
Let's look at the board again, Ash.
What board? This board?
Who's left on the draft board?
Oh, sorry.
I mean, Lewis Seen, Daxton Hill.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's coming back up for one of those safeties. Hill potentially. I think the only way you'll get someone coming back in is to grab a quarterback anyway. And knowing that the Lions would probably take one, they would probably ask a high value, even though it's the last pick in the first round.
Yeah. I think it's quarterback here, isn't it? With what Tom said about the option.
Yeah, I agree. Which one though? Same. Sam Howell, I think, is probably I prefer Matt Corral, but I just think Sam Howell's probably got more of a chance of beating out go off quicker.
Is it just because we're used to seeing him playing light blue?
Maybe. That could be it. Nah. Yeah.
I don't know why, Ash, but I'm also drawn to Howell over Corral. And
Yeah.
don't ask me why, because I haven't got a good reason for it.
Well, I want to just point my finger at the screen and hope it touch screen and pick someone. So if you're both going for Sam Howell, I'm happy with it.
Okay, let's do it. Just getting a lot confused then.
Well done, everybody.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was fun. Do we want to have a quick run through, Ash?
Yeah, more than happy to. Am I calling out the trade? I know I'll do it, but am I calling out the trades as well, or am I just doing who's picking? Because I think clicking back and trying to call it might be a bit.
That's disappointing, but that's fine.
Actually,
you can.
No, we can do that. No, we can do that. Right, okay. So Jags at 1 took Aiden Hutchinson, edge from Michigan. Lions at 2 took Travon Walker, edge from Georgia. Texans at 3 took Kayvon Thibodeau, edge from Oregon. New York Jets at 4 took Ahmed Gardner, cornerback from Cincinnati. Falcons traded up with the Giants at 5 and took Malik Willis, quarterback from Liberty. Panthers at 6 took Evan Neal, offensive tackle, Alabama. Cowboys came all the way up to 7 with the Giants and took Jordan Davis, defensive tackle from Georgia. Giants at 8 took Akeem Ekwonu, offensive tackle from Northern Carolina, NC State. Seattle at 9 took Charles Cross, offensive tackle from Mississippi State. Jets at 10 took Jermaine Johnson, edge from Florida State. Washington at 11 took Derek Stingley Jr., cornerback from LSU. The Vikings at 12 took Carl Hamilton, safety from Notre Dame. The Bears finally got back into the first round, trading for the 13 from the Texans. They took Jameson Williams, wide receiver from Alabama. The Ravens at 14 took Devontae Wyatt, defensive tackle from Georgia. Packers moved up with the Eagles to 15 and took Garrett Wilson, wide receiver, Ohio State. The Eagles at 16 took Devin Lloyd, linebacker from Utah. Chargers at 17 took Trevor Penning, offensive tackle, Northern Iowa. Colts managed to get a first-round pick from the Saints. They took Kenny Pickett, quarterback from Pittsburgh, at 18. Eagles took Tyler Lindenbaum, offensive center from Iowa, at 19. The Steelers at 20 took Kenyon Green, offensive guard from Texas A&M. Patriots at 21 took Nakobe Dean, linebacker from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles at 22, the pick they got from the Packers, took Trent McDuffie, cornerback from Washington. Cardinals at 23 took George Karlaftis, from edge from Purdue. The Giants, with that Cowboys pick at 24, took Andrew Booth Jr., cornerback from Clemson. The Bills at 25 took Zion Johnson, guard from Boston College. Titans at 26 took Boy Maffei, edge from Minnesota. The Buccaneers at 27 took Chris Olave, wide receiver from Ohio State. The Packers at 28 took a swing at David Ajobo and took for edge from Michigan. Chiefs, with the first of their 2 picks, took Drake London, wide receiver from UCF, at 29. And then at 30, they took Kier Elam, cornerback from Florida. Bengals, with the most Bengals pick, took Jaquan Brisker, safety from Penn State, at 31. And finally, the Lions took Sam Howell, quarterback from North Carolina.
The 2 worst picks in that whole enterprise were made by the computer. Cowboys moving all that way for Jordan Davis.
Yeah.
And then the Bengals taking a safety.
Yeah, got to agree.
Whereas the best picks were made by us for the Eagles, because they absolutely smashed that first round.
Eagles and the Chiefs, I think, have had a fabulous day of the office.
If the Eagles come out of the draft with them 2, they're absolutely laughing. And I think the Eagles have tied up some big positions there with those 3 picks and got capital back from it as well.
So we went from absolutely murdering Drake London's career last time, Ash, by making him an Eagle, to giving him to Patrick Mahomes.
Wow.
Swings and roundabouts with the Drake London train. I mean, there.
Joe Douglas is going to Hulk smash the whole front office after all those rejected trades. There's going to be no phone to ring on day 2.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I enjoyed that, talking through that, because I felt it was informative rather than me trying to outsmart everybody else in the draft, from which I never do, because other people have greater knowledge when it comes to scheme fits and stuff than me. So the fact that we could talk it through as a collective, I felt
Mm.
helped me in the process of picking players, which was good fun, I thought.
I think so. And there was no point where we majorly disagreed on matters, was there?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Tom,
We got a lot.
thank you ever so much for coming back. Ash, do we have any more mock drafts that Tom can join us with before the end of the draft?
Yes. Yep. So we have got one final mock draft planned on the Monday. Well, the week of the draft, basically. That week building up to the draft, we will do one more mock draft. We say Monday, but let's be honest, it could be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Probably
We don't want it to be
before.
Friday.
Yeah, probably before Friday.
I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we've got a couple more blockbuster trades coming.
Yes, and I think
If the Jets give the Seahawks that number 10 pick back and take DK Metcalf, for example, and then I won't have to cry about Drake London.
You know what, the way this off season's gone, and anything can happen.
There's plenty more fun to come.
Yeah, and I didn't mean you can only come back for mock draft, Tom. Of course, you are welcome whenever you want, my friend. I hope you start to feel better and you enjoy your time off.
Oh, look, it's nature's medicine, a mock draft for me. I must have done about 400 between the start of the season and now. So I've really enjoyed it, gents, and I do feel much better for seeing your beautiful faces.
Well, we appreciate you coming back, mate. We really do. You stay safe and enjoy your time off. As I said, Ash, you enjoy your weekend, my friend, in Bristol. You stay safe, or sensible, I suppose the word should be there, because Lord only knows what's happening this weekend.
Always. You too. You stay safe doing whatever it is you're doing this weekend.
I'm walking around a pond tomorrow, and there's a path, so there's absolutely no chance of unsafeness happening there, unless my boy decides to try and go swimming. But that would be a first.
You know what's happening now. Come on.
Yeah. Right, Rush Nation. That was mock draft 3. Ash, am I right there? There's another one coming. Tom, it was a pleasure. Ash, as always, my friend, it was lovely to see your face. Rush Nation, Saturdays are for Russian too.